Hi people, TheEmployedMoth here. Today I'll be looking at a quote that I wrote, and it's about creativity and passiveness. Let's hear it. We yearn for creative passions, but we are passive observers, consumers, people on the sideline. So we watch someone else do it and hope to have their courage. We consume someone else's creativity, and we hold ourselves back. That's it in its entirety. This idea is quite straightforward. In just a few sentences I can capture the whole thing. But for the most part, people who live in a society, especially in the West, are not productive with creativity. They are consumers. They go to work, they put all of their productive energy into their work, which for the most part is your average 9-to-5 job, and is not creative in any kind of way. For the most part, those jobs are just processing jobs as well. And they come home, they're so gassed, they have no energy at all, that the only thing they can do is consume. We watch television, we watch movies, we eat, and that's all we really do. And we watch sports as well, especially sports. But we don't produce anything. We don't be creative. We sit on the sideline watching other people do it. Yet for the most part, most of us have great ideas that just have not been put down onto the world. Everyone has this creative potential. Everyone can be a star. People who are famous for whatever they're good at or are considered to be top of their field, they're no different from the regular people. The only difference is the regular people have succumbed to their jobs, succumbed to the mainstream standard narrative way of living, while those people who we idolize have not. We're all stars, we just haven't been put down onto the world. And we sit on the sidelines and observe and watch other people who are creative and passionate do the things that we want to do. We live passively. We vicariously live out our lives through other people. We watch movies of heroes who we wish to be. We identify with these heroes, yet we do not act like them. We listen to songs and we wish we could sing like that or play like that. We watch sports and we think that it'd be great if we could do that. We watch other people doing what we do not. And sure, most of us might not even have the energy to do this. And some of us do it. There are creative few out there. But for the most part, we don't. We let society beat us down. We let our lives ruin whatever light we have in us, whatever passion. How many people end up dying, never having attempted their dreams, their life's work that they wanted to do. All we do is consume someone else's creativity, and we hold ourselves back in the process. Eventually we become resentful. And for some people, they avoid the topics that used to be their dreams. You can't talk to them about this type of stuff because they fucked up. They were meant to do it good and they didn't. And when they get older, they realize that their opportunity was wasted. Now, we should be living out our dreams for us, not because we can become the best in the world, not because we can beat anyone. We should be doing it for us. But we don't. When a child does something, when they play or they get interested in a certain thing, I guess, a certain activity, they do it for the fun of it. They don't understand the concept of money. They don't understand the concept of fame. They do it because they want to. They're not even fully conscious yet. They haven't developed fragmentation. They haven't developed any kind of idea of what the world is about, that musicians can get paid millions of dollars to play for people. They don't even know what an audience is yet. Children do it for the fun of it in that moment. That's all they're experiencing. Pure joy. They're not thinking about if they're good or bad. They're not thinking about what other people think of them. They do it for the fun of it. And that's what adults don't do. They ruin it before they even start. They think, I'm not going to be able to get that good. They think, I'm not going to be able to make any money from it. They think, I don't have the time. They don't live in the moment. They're too concerned about what other people's opinions are. And they're too concerned about financial reward. We have been trained through school and work to believe that any type of productivity that we do has to have a financial reward to it. Now, I'm not against schooling, and I'm not against work, but I believe that a change needs to happen in those two fields. But that's a different topic. When it comes to our creativity, being a consumer, in my opinion, is the most lowest form of any type of activity we can do. Sure, consuming to a point is okay. We listen to good music, we watch good shows that entertain us. You're listening to me right now. That's perfectly fine. But we should all have some type of practice. This is just my belief. Some type of practice which we use as an outlet for ourselves. It doesn't have to be creative art. It can be playing sport. It can be whatever the hell you want it to be. I have no care in the world. But having a type of practice, in my opinion, is essential for being a human. For living a life that is balanced. Living a life where you have real world accomplishments. Where you can say, this is what I do. It's an objective feat. It's something physical, practical. Something that might not be able to have measurement put on it, yet can clearly be expressed in a physical sense. If you're a painter, a musician, an actor, a race car driver, an electrician, any type of sporting quality, any type of online activity that you may do, whatever it is that you do, that becomes an objective skill and quality. And like I said, although sometimes it cannot be measured, in the moment you can perform that action, something that you love, and it can be recognized. And if the point is to have fun while doing it, then why not do it? We're only here for a limited time. And when we die, our children might remember us. But eventually we become grandparents, and we become great-grandparents and great-great-great and great-great-great, so on and so forth. I don't know a thing about my great-grandparents, and especially my great-great-grandparents. We become forgotten. And that's a nihilist opinion. A nihilist opinion is that there's no meaning in life, there's no point in all of it. Eventually time will wash over us and we'll be forgotten. And most people become victims to this ideology. But we can actually use it to empower us. Because there's no point in doing anything, that's why we do it. That's why we be creative and we produce our work, not just work for a company, a job. We produce our life's work. Death is the greatest motivation. And the people who have been remembered over the years, if that's what you're into, they're the ones that produced objectively. They produced something in the real world. The music of Mozart is objective, real-world music that has lasted centuries. If you look to very early Mesopotamian writings, that has survived through centuries, thousands of years, millenniums. No one knows who wrote it, but that doesn't matter anymore. Every 1,000 years or so, people get forgotten unless we keep records of their work. But if they didn't do that work, then we wouldn't remember them. So if you're into being remembered, understand that you have to be doing work that is valuable and helps other people and inspires and is groundbreaking. For me, I'm not too worried about being remembered. I'm more about living here and now. But when it comes to being creative, the idea that I'm trying to communicate is that for the most part, people are consumers. Social media, TV, sports. We consume these things, yet never produce from it. And in them, we get tied up in ourselves. Instead of producing creative work, we produce photos of ourselves for Instagram and social media, where we display our lifestyle. We create a lifestyle for us that, for the most part, doesn't exist. And then what other people do is they consume our fake lifestyle. And when we continue to perpetuate this lifestyle in this area of creativity, which is Instagram or social media, and then when we turn off our phones or whatever, we don't have anything really substantial that we've created. We've just put pictures out into a platform. There might not be any ideas with the pictures. It can be as narcissistic as a selfie. But that's what our output has become. Society has created outputs for us, social media and work. Yet we have not chosen to do anything autonomously. This is one of our problems. And if everyone did a creative passion or hobby, I think the world would be a better place. I think people would have a lot more understanding of themselves, because those things require you to go deep. They do not satisfy us on surface levels for too long. We have to go deeper. We have to go into personal practice, into discipline. And in that discipline, we learn a lot about ourselves, a lot about what makes us tick. Anyway, those are just my thoughts on that topic. All the best. See you later.